about you taking rhyming more seriously?
Actually, that's interesting because my parents were very strict. Um, my father was very strict. Schoolwork was a priority back then, and well, it was a priority in my house, and so I had to get that done. And they didn't really mind me getting involved in music. I think they were proud, but they never really told me that. But years later, when we would do big functions, as we grew as a group, and we would DJ like weddings and all kind of events where the place would be packed with people, and I remember seeing my parents like very proud of me to see what we could do at that point years later, and the fact that I got on the mic and I was performing and getting everyone in the crowd to dance and stuff like that. So
when you got up here and grabbed the mic and started rhyming, was it reminiscent of any kind of like ciphers or shows, and kind of like walk through what that moment and that feeling was like for you?
So today, or like from back then?
Yeah, what it brought back.
Anytime there's certain records that as soon as I hear them, I just like I want to perform, I want to rap or whatever like that. Like I would be inspired by certain records, like Good Times and Love Is the Message and things like that. And certain records really inspire me to rap. Like today, there's certain records, and I remember DJ Junebug was talking about our style of music, and our style of music was like when we started, it was disco music. Like when I started rapping, rap was not, rhyming, rap was really not accepted too much in the community. Most people loved to hear disco music, and a lot of parties, they wanted to hear disco music. And when we started Climax in the Evening, we transitioned from disco music to hip hop. And I was, like I said, I was inspired by others. And then I used to go and buy beat records from Underground Records in Port Authority. And I'd bring those underground records back to Queens. And I say, hey, look, man, I got Mardi Gras. I got 7 Minutes of Funk, Mr. Magic. And we would play them as the night got, as the night progressed and it was crowded and people showed up and it would be jam-packed. We'd cut off the music and I'd sing a song and I'd get everyone's attention, and then DJ Junebug or DJ Kenny would throw the record on and everybody would go crazy. Oh, wow, wow, wow. And I just start rhyming and back then we did a lot of crowd participation. I say, come on. They say, let's go to work. And, that was the culture of DJing back then and MCing back then. And but my own style and Phase 3 style was cutting off the music, getting people to clap their hands, throwing the music on, rhyming. We'd go to another jam. And I'd have something there. I had like routines I would write for different records. And we had like, they were catered to the records that were out at that time. So that's kind of like the way it went. And even today, I still am influenced.
How did it feel today doing that?
It felt great today. It always feels good. It always feels good. Even though this isn't a party, we weren't in a party, but when I am in a party, I really, I just want to entertain and please the crowd. It felt great, and it always feels great. I love talking, I love rocking on the mic, and some MCs have different styles. My style is more of getting people to dance and party and throw their hands in the air, and I'm like that kind of an MC. I can rhyme. I like to rhyme. and I like to rhyme to certain themes. You know, back then, you know, we used to rhyme about partying. Like that was the theme of what I would write. You know, parties and sucker MCs. You know, you know that was like a thing that you wrote back then. You know, you called other MCs suckers and you stealing my rhymes, and you know, so a lot of the raps were geared on that. They were geared on party and girls and fly girls and MC crews and girl crews and your crew. My crew is better than your crew, and those were some of the lyrics of a lot of the raps back then. I was into, you know, the raps were like catered to the women.
Right.
You understand? Opposed to nowadays, where a lot of the lyrics are geared toward a lot of other things.
Right, right. Objectifying.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some of your, I guess, favorite moments, favorite highlights throughout your career rhyming with the group, doing shows, just memories that really have been important to you?
Sure. We had a battle with, we had a battle with like one of the best groups in Jamaica at that time, which was Infinity Machine, that had a big set. And we had DJ'd with them before at the Holiday Inn. Oh no, you know what? Let me talk about the Holiday Inn.
Okay.
Because the Holiday Inn featured Sound Experience, Infinity Machine, and Phase 3. And I think King Charles was on the flyer. There was other rappers called like Woody Wood and Disco Kid. I think Disco Kid was at that time like one of the like popular rappers in Queens. And that night was influential to me because I had already broke the ice at IS8 of getting on the mic. And at that time, DJ Nicky B, who was one of the original Phase 3 DJs, you know, he was talking on the mic, but then he decided that he wanted to give me a chance. And so it was like as he decreased, I increased. Mm-hmm. And I got on the mic and I went off. I took over. And so ever since then, it's influential because I really started gaining my confidence that, like, this is what I need to, you know, the microphone was, you know, MCing was something I really loved. That's when I realized it.
What
at that party.
What would you say would be like the importance or the influence of Queens for hip hop based on, you know, what you and a lot of the early MCs were doing, a lot of the early DJs doing out of Queens? May not get as recognized as the Bronx, but what would you say would be the importance of it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, actually, I'm just honored to even be interviewed like this because for many years this is like a dream come true because being able to tell the story of how it was back then is a privilege for me because, you know, we were the early MC. I'm a pioneer. I'm one of the few brothers in South Jamaica that was rocking back then, and since then, like maybe as the '80s took off, I was shocked to see, like, when Run DMC formed, I was shocked, and I saw that, whoa. And then people were asking me, are you going to make a record? Are you going to make a record? Are you going to make a record? And I saw the Sugar Hill Gang make a record. And then I was like, wow. When they took Good Times and they made a record off of Good Times. And I saw that this thing was exploding. And there was a record called by Spoonie G. That was pretty popular as well. And so I saw that where rap music was not accepted, it was becoming accepted because it was starting to go mainstream. And I remember some of these records being played on the radio. They weren't played on the radio a lot, but every now and then they would play them. So I knew things were changing, and you know, the hip hop era was just, was beginning.
The importance of Queens.
Oh, well, Queens had. I mean, we had so many. Like, since the early days, other groups were forming, other MCs were coming up. Little did I know, because I really didn't know at the time, but we were influencing other people to start MCing. And since then, I mean, you have like LL Cool J and Run DMC and like now like 50 Cent and so many other MCs that came out of Queens. They probably don't even know that like I was one of the original pioneers. They probably really don't know. But we were doing it, and to see the success of them is just mind blowing. And it's just, I'm just honored to have been a part of the early beginnings of it, especially in Queens.
Nice. So, man, I appreciate your time. Anything else you'd like people to know about you and your contributions and
Yeah.
what you're up to?
Well, actually, yeah.
Hold on.